Welcome back to the Ultimate Trumpet Podcast, brought to you by trumpetstudio.com. I'm Bella.
And I'm Adam. Bella, over the last few episodes, we've worked our way through the gear that surrounds the horn. We did valve oil, we did mutes, we did trumpet cases, we did trumpet stands. Today, we're going smaller. Much smaller. Today, we're talking about the mouthpiece pouch.
And I know somebody out there just said, really, a whole episode on a little leather sleeve? But stay with us, because this one comes from a real problem that catches almost every player eventually. You buy a pouch to protect your mouthpiece, and months later you notice fine scratches all over the cup or a ding on the shank, and you realize the pouch itself was doing the damage.
That's exactly it. And the villain in this story, 90% of the time, is the zipper. The zipper on the pouch you bought to protect the mouthpiece is the thing scratching the mouthpiece. So today we're breaking down why that happens, why mouthpieces stored together end up damaging each other, and then we'll walk through the pouches that actually get it right, with no zippers, no metal clasps, and complete isolation between the pieces.
Let's start with why mouthpieces are so easy to scratch in the first place, because I think players assume a chunk of solid brass is basically indestructible.
The brass underneath is tough, sure, but you're not touching brass. You're touching plating. The silver plating on a trumpet mouthpiece is only a few 10,000ths of an inch thick. We're talking a few microns of metal. And if your piece is gold-plated, that gold is usually flashed over the silver even thinner than that. Silver is also one of the softest metals you'll ever handle. It scratches from almost anything harder than a fingernail.
And now, think about where the zipper sits on a typical mouthpiece pouch. On most of the popular top-loading designs, the zipper coil runs directly across the opening of the sleeve, which means every single time you put the mouthpiece in or take it out, the rim and the edge of the cup drag right across the zipper teeth.
Every single time. Metal zipper coils are obviously abrasive, but here's the part people miss. Even the nicer pouches with molded plastic zippers are still harder than silver plating. And after a few months of gigging, that zipper coil is carrying embedded grit, dust, pocket lint, all of it. It basically turns into fine sandpaper sitting right where your rim passes through, 20 times a week.
And the side zip cases, the ones that unzip along the whole length, they have a different version of the same problem. When you open one of those, every mouthpiece in it is exposed at once, and pieces tumble against the open zipper track while you're digging one out on a dark bandstand between tunes.
Either way, the wear pattern ends up the same. A dulled, satin-looking line around the rim and the upper cup, which is exactly the part of the mouthpiece that touches your face. It's the surface you feel every time you play, and it's the first place you'll notice damage.
Okay, so that's failure number one, the zipper. Failure number two is what mouthpieces do to each other, because a lot of pouches that say they hold 2 or 3 mouthpieces are really just one padded pocket with everything dropped in together.
Right, and padding on the outside of a pouch does nothing about what happens on the inside. Every time that pouch shifts around in your gig bag, it's brass on brass in there. Shanks knocking against rims, cups clacking against backbores.
And this is more than a cosmetic issue. Talk about the shank for a second, because I think this is the part that surprises people.
So a ding on the shank, even a small flat spot on that taper, changes how the mouthpiece seats in the receiver. It can change your gap and your insertion depth. And anybody who's ever had a mouthpiece gap adjusted or had a piece cut for sleeves knows how sensitive response and slotting are to that dimension. A dinged shank can literally change how the horn plays.
And a nicked rim you feel instantly on your embouchure. A rim that's picked up a little burr is a rim you're going to fight all night long.
All night. And then there's plain old plating wear from pieces rubbing together, which dulls the finish long before it ever gets down to bare brass. And by the way, having a mouthpiece stripped and replated costs more than any pouch we're going to talk about today.
So the fix is not more padding. The fix is complete isolation. every mouthpiece in its own individual full-length sleeve, so no two pieces can ever touch, no matter how the pouch gets tossed around. And a closure with nothing hard on it anywhere.
Which brings us to the good news, because once you rule out zippers, metal clasps, snaps, and magnets, the field narrows to one closure type, and it happens to be the right one. The simple hook and loop flap. Good old Velcro. It's soft on both sides, there's nothing hard anywhere near the cup, and a fold-over flap covers the opening completely so the mouthpieces can't walk out.
So here's the checklist, and if you're shopping, this is the whole episode in 5 items. Number 1, Velcro flap closure only. Number 2, individual full-length sleeves, 1 mouthpiece per sleeve, covering the piece from rim to shank tip. Number 3, a soft, non-abrasive lining, velvet or suede or brushed Nylex, because the lining is touching your plating every time the pouch moves. Number 4, a real leather body, because leather holds its shape, keeps the sleeves open for one-handed loading at the gig, and adds real crush resistance inside a packed bag. And number 5, a Velcro strip on the back of the pouch.
That last one is the sleeper feature. The best gigging pouches put a Velcro panel on the backside so you can anchor the whole pouch to the lid of your trumpet case or the accessory bay of your gig bag. An anchored pouch cannot tumble. And a pouch that can't move is a pouch whose contents can't get jostled. Plus, you always know exactly where your mouthpieces are when the downbeat is in 5 minutes.
One honest caveat before we get to the picks. If you carry one of these loose in a pocket or a soft bag, that exposed hook-side Velcro on the back will grab at sweaters and swabs and anything fuzzy it meets. Some players find that genuinely annoying.
True. And the answer is to use the strip the way it's meant to be used. Stick the pouch inside your case and leave it there. Problem solved, and you get the anchoring benefit at the same time.
All right, the picks. These all have 0 zippers, 0 clasps, and true individual sleeves. First up, the one made by the shop that probably understands mouthpiece damage better than anyone on earth.
That would be Bob Reeves Brass out in Valencia, California. These are the folks who've been machining mouthpieces and adjusting gaps for professional players since 1968. Their handcrafted leather pouch comes in a double and a quad, runs about $52, and the design is exactly what we described. Velcro flap closure, individual full-length sleeves, thick leather, and a Velcro mounting panel on the back.
And the capacity is clever. The double holds 2 standard trumpet mouthpieces plus 2 shorter cornet or flugelhorn pieces. The quad holds 4 full trumpet mouthpieces plus 4 additional short pieces or underparts. So if you play a screw rim setup or Reeves sleeves and you travel with tops and back bores as separate components, this pouch was basically designed around your life.
Next, the value king of the whole category, the Guard quadruple leather pouch, the one Austin Custom Brass sells with their logo on it. Water buffalo leather on the outside, soft imported velvet lining on the inside, individual slots for each piece, Velcro-only closure, and a belt loop plus a mounting strip on the back.
And the owner feedback on this one reads like a checklist of everything we just talked about. Players report the individual slots keep the pieces completely separated, the padding protects against dents, and the plating on their mouthpieces stays unworn. Several call it a better value than anything comparable. One longtime owner even fits 4 trumpet pieces plus 2 flugelhorn pieces in it because the shorter flugel shanks nest efficiently.
Guard also makes the same design as a double, which is honestly all the pouch most gigging players need. If your reality is 1 legit piece and 1 lead piece, or a trumpet piece and a flugel piece, the double is slim enough to live permanently in your gig bag pocket. One player Velcroed it to the inside lid of a Marcus Bona case as dedicated backup mouthpiece storage, which is exactly the right idea.
If you want maximum capacity, there's a small American maker called Leather Specialties Company, and their quadruple pouch is honestly undernamed because the design carries up to 7 mouthpieces in 7 individual soft pockets inside a Velcro-sealed leather wrap.
It's built from the thickest leather in their line. The sewn edges are sealed under a strong canvas ribbon, and the maker, flat out, says these pouches last for decades. If you're a teacher, a doubler, or a collector who brings a real selection to lessons and sessions, that's your pouch.
There's also a premium trim version of the Guard Quad, the Elite, in black leather with tan accents that matches their Elite Series gig bags. Same protection, fancier finish. And Guard sells unbranded versions of the Double and the Quad directly, which are the least expensive way into a properly built leather isolation pouch.
And one budget option to round it out. ProTech makes a 2-way padded nylon pouch with a hook and loop flap, the A220, for around $13 to $16. It's not leather and it won't age like the others, but it's fully zipper-free and it isolates 2 pieces correctly. Perfect for a student, a backup horn, or the Trumpet case that only leaves the house at Christmas.
One warning on that brand, though, because it matters. Most of ProTech's better-known mouthpiece pouches, the neoprene ones and the ones with zip right in the model name, use zippers. The A series with the hook and loop closure is the one you want. Read the model number.
Great catch. Now, 3 quick habits that make any of these pouches work even better. First, wipe the mouthpiece dry before it goes in the sleeve. Velvet and suede linings are gentle, but they hold moisture against the plating, and trapped condensation is what causes that slow tarnish on silver. 10 seconds with a soft cloth after the last set.
Second, 1 piece per sleeve always. The moment you double up just for tonight, you've recreated the exact brass-on-brass problem the pouch exists to prevent.
And third, anchor the pouch. Use that back Velcro strip, stick it inside your case, and forget about it. Some of the pieces in a working player's bag are genuinely irreplaceable. We're talking about pieces like a Herseth Spec Bach and Schilke hybrid, items from the Arnold Jacobs estate, a custom GR Drosti, a custom Schilke 10-4Z. Pieces like that deserve better than a zipper.
If you want the full written breakdown with every pick, the prices, and the buying checklist, the complete Studio Notes article is up right now at trumpetstudio.com. And while you're there, check out the 3 books that anchor everything we do here. The Ultimate Warm-Up Book for Trumpet, The Ultimate Technical Study for Trumpet, and The Ultimate Wedding Book for Trumpet. 50 years of playing and teaching went into those pages.
And 2 quick favors before we go. If this show helps your playing, please leave us a rating and review in the App Store. It genuinely helps other trumpet players find us. And go grab the Trumpet Studio app, where the fingering charts, the library, and episodes like this one live right on your phone.
Thanks for spending your practice break with us. For the Ultimate Trumpet Podcast, I'm Bella.
And I'm Adam. Protect those mouthpieces, anchor that pouch, and most importantly, now go practice.